Over here, quietly. I am glad that you received my owl. We need to stay low and remain quiet.
Natty, what's going on? Why are we all the way out here?
As promised, I did some investigating to find out what Harlow is up to. I followed him to the Hog's Head. I noticed him reading a letter. All I could see was that it was signed by and bore the seal of Victor Rookwood. And after you told me that Rookwood and Harlow were after you, I decided that you were the perfect person to join me in taking them down. For good. That letter is the tangible proof that Officer Singer needs. It is why I followed Harlow here and why I wrote to you. I need your help to retrieve it.
Can't we just bypass Officer Singer and go?
Do you think they will listen to a student? Only Officer Singer.
You seem to be very determined in stopping Rook.
I knew men like him in Uganda. I know how... It's a long story. One I promise to share when we have more time.
I'll help you find the letter, Natty.
I'm glad to hear it. First, we must access the castle keep. I'll check the main gate. I do not see any guards, but we should still try to be as quiet.
Lumos. I wonder what that does.
Also,
that did it.
Accio, Wingardium Leviosa. Revelio.
Lumos.
Accio, Wingardium Leviosa. Descendo. Revelio. Accio, Wingardium Leviosa. Descendo. Accio, Wingardium Leviosa. Protego! Accio! Wingardium Leviosa. Lumos. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Arresto Momentum. Lumos.
I need to find a way into the gatehouse to open the gate for Natty.
Accio. Revelio. Levioso. Accio. Lumos.
Dead end. Must be another way in.
Revelio. Repulso. Accio. Revelio. Repulso. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Lumos. Revelio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Revelio. Accio. Lumos. Accio. Repulso. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
That looks as if it might raise the gate.
Repulso. Accio. Repulso. Arresto Momentum. Repulso. Arresto Momentum. Repulso. Glacius. Accio. Glacius. Accio. Repulsor. Glacius. Accio.
Well done. I will be right out. I knew you could do it. This way. I will get the door. That is the main keep. My guess is that we'll find Harlow and the
Lumos.
letter inside. We'll need to be careful once we get...
I hear them.
Restrain the pace.
Highwing.
Do you know that hippogriff?
Get this thing back to the road now.
Very well. New plan. I get the evidence and you free that hippogriff. Agreed? This is our chance. Go!
Blasted.
There's gotta be another way to get up to the roof. Somewhere.
Still nothing. Revelio.
I hope Natty stays out of trouble.
Revelio. Lumos. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Repulsor. Lumos. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Arresto momentum.
Not the safest place to sneak into.
And where did I set my trap?
Accio. Wingardium
Up
Leviosa.
Hogsfield.
Arresto momentum.
Eternicus Totalis. Revelio. Totalis.
Oh, I'm going to enjoy this.
Revelio. Aloha Mora. Revelio. I hope Natsy's having an easier time of it. Revelio.
You're going home in a wooden box! Someone messing about? Oh,
Incendio! Confringo! Defender! You will pay for that! Protego!
Levioso!
Accio! Incendio! How does that feel? Confringo! Arresto momentum! Also, Expelliarmus! Oh! Revelio. Aloha Mora. Revelio. I-Wing. It's all right. There we go.
you are.
Come on.
Hello, Homura.
Hurry! Oh! Oh! There's the Hogwarts Express. Must be returning from an unscheduled run.
I wonder if anyone can see us from the castle. This is amazing!
It's incredible, isn't it?
How exciting.
It was exhilarating, wasn't it? I wasn't sure we were going to make it out alive.
There was no need to worry. I had it all under control.
Were you able to find the letter?
Summoned it straight out of Harlow's hands. I will say, I did not expect to see him cast the killing curse at us. He won't forget this. Be on your guard.
Of course. What did the letter say?
That Rookwood's looking for a phoenix. Not sure where he will find one. But it also included Harlow's orders to inspect that castle for the poachers. Enough to connect Harlow to the crimes. I shall deliver the letter to Officer Singer. She'll have to do something when she sees it. Now, tell me, where did you meet these hippogriffs?
I've only met Highwing before. Poppy introduced us.
Knows a hippogriff. Of course she does. Poppy will be relieved to know that Highwing's safe. I came to the right person for help. My mother will be worried. I must go. Seek me out soon. I shall have much to tell you.
No need to race now, my friend. Let's go! Come on, Highwing! Seems...
Pressed ominous regarding Salazar Slytherin's scriptorium. My efforts were in vain. Meet me outside the Slytherin common room. We need to talk.
Is this Mr. Bickle's home?
I believe so. He supposedly has evidence against Harlow. We need to speak with him.
My husband!
Are you all right? We're looking for Mr. Bickle.
My husband is dead! He killed him!
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Mrs. Bickle. Who killed your husband?
Theophilus Harlow! I'm sure of it. He's been threatening my husband for weeks and... Oh, where is my son? Where is Archie?
He must be around here somewhere.
Archie was home with his father while I was out. His satchel's missing. I hope he wasn't here when Harlow...
Do you know which way Archie might have gone?
He has a little hideout. He never wanders far. But if he witnessed, I'm afraid to leave.
Is there anything more you can tell?
He's Victor Rookwood's second in command.
What reason would Harlow...
My husband had been looking into Harlow's dealings. I begged him to leave it alone, but he was convinced that...
We'll find your son, Mrs. Bickle.
Thank you.
Please do not worry, Mrs. Bickle. We will...
Where could Archie have gone?
When I took the letter we found to Officer Singer, she told... Mr. Bickle. He had been doing the same thing we are, providing Officer Singer with evidence to take down Harlow. I had hoped to speak with him about what he had found, but we were too late.
What did Officer Singer say about the letter you brought her?
She thanked me, but she clearly felt that it was not enough. It is a shame that hippogriffs cannot speak. Your friend Highwing could provide all the evidence against Harlow that we need. We will need something more. This must be little Archie's hideout that Mrs. Bickle mentioned. Archie? Archie Bickle! He would not have done this to his own hideout. Someone came here looking for him.
Revelio.
Revelio may be our only hope of finding out which way he went. There! Archie's footprints. He went this way.
Incendio. Revelio.
I thought we would have found Archie by now.
I suspect he'll keep running if he's being followed.
If it is Harlow that's pursuing him, I only hope you're right. Men like Harlow would not think twice about killing a child. We must find Archie quickly. Wolves! Prepare for a fight.
Accio. Incendio. Nintendo. Confringo.
I hope Archie didn't cross paths with that wolf pack.
Revelio.
We should look around.
Archie's satchel. Why would he leave it behind?
He was likely running from Harlow, distracted. This may be a good time for Revelio again.
Revelio.
Archie went this way. I have a bad feeling about this. Harlow must have a reason for pursuing Archie.
I wonder what Archie saw. I hope he didn't see Harlow kill his father.
He would never
Revelio.
overcome it. At least not in any way I can imagine. A fork in the road. We will need Revelio again.
Revelio.
Multiple sets of footprints. Oh, Harlow caught up to him here. This is not good. They went this way. Thestrals. They are beautiful, are they not?
You can see Thestrals too.
I witnessed death when I was 9. Saw my first Thestral shortly thereafter. I found comfort in it. I still do. I think those of us who have witnessed death deserve some comfort.
I'm sorry you experienced something like that at so young an age.
I was with my father.
Accio.
My mother was away, and I felt quite helpless.
Defender.
It was a long journey in some ways, but in other ways, it seems like it was only yesterday.
Incendio.
I still see him so clearly.
You must miss him.
My father was a wonderful
Revelio.
man. Let us keep moving. We must find Archie. It is as I feared. They have Archie. Be on your guard. There can be no mistakes. I did not expect this tent to be so large on the inside. That complicates things a little.
Accio. Accio.
You're no match for me.
How delightful.
Will you, Holtz?
Accio.
At least hold your own. A lucky shot.
You're easier to spot than an irrumpent.
Accio. Incendio.
You're going to regret that. I'm just warming up. You've made a great
Defender. Accio.
Aha! Back for more.
Accio.
Incendio!
Defender!
Revelio. Confringo. Revelio. Archie. Archie Bickle.
How do you know who I am?
Your mother sent us to find you.
Oh, I'm so glad to see you.
Not too loud, Archie.
Sorry.
We need to get this open. Accio. Aloha Mora.
I'm Uncle Harlow.
We're so sorry, Archie. We won't...
Thank you for saving me.
We wouldn't have it any other way, Archie. No.
Oh, Archie, you're here! Oh, you're safe.
Mother? Oh, Mother. Father's friends are in danger. I heard the people who took me talking about them.
Which friends, darling?
Mr. and Mrs. Rabe, Mr. Filbert, and I think they also said Otto's name.
Oh, I shall speak with them. You run inside.
Yes, Mother.
Your husband's friends, maybe.
Just as he was. You've done enough. The last thing we need is that monster.
It may be too late for that.
Then you needn't anger him further. I assure you that
I'm sorry again about your husband.
Thank you. And I can never repay the two.
Not to worry, Mrs. Bickle. My father used to say that rain does not fall on one roof alone. We are here to help each other. I must learn more about Mr. Bickle's friends and why Harlow is after them. You'll be hearing from me as soon as I know something. Thank you for your help.
Hello, Mr. Semi.
What can I do for you?
What do you have for sale?
Aren't you the student who ran all those goblin loyalists off? I can't tell you what a relief that was to everyone in Lower Hogsfield. I hope to see you again sometime.
You're here. Brilliant.
I received your owl. What happened with Ominous?
I told him none of us will be able to avoid dark magic forever. So, unfortunately, only a Gaunt knows the location of the Scriptorium's entrance, and Ominous... You? I suppose it's worth a try. I know where he is. I'll lead you... He's this way. Keep an eye out. Never know who's watching. Although that hasn't stopped us before.
Strictly speaking, it has. We were caught.
Damned poltergeist.
Revelio.
Such a nuisance. There he is. Good luck.
What are you doing here?
Hello, Ominous. Do you...
What is it? What have you and Sebastian been up to now?
I owe you an apology, Ominous. He wanted me to have a safe place to practice some spells, to try...
I suppose that makes sense. It's just Sebastian's been pestering me lately about something and I'm frustrated.
Don't tell me he's still going on about...
He told you about that?
He did. We were talking about Hogwarts founders.
Yes, well, he seems to think it contains the answer to saving Anne.
Wait, you've never been...
Of course not. I only know about it because of my favorite aunt, Noctua. In fact, she'd hoped to convince my family that there was more to... She'd heard of this scriptorium and thought its contents might shed some light on him. She even found the secret entrance in this very corridor. She wrote regularly to my father about her efforts to gain access, and then she simply vanished. No one else ever tried to enter.
I'm sorry about your aunt.
Aunt Noctua went down this path with good intent.
You don't know that history will repeat itself. Besides, you said your aunt thought like you. This get you answers about Slytherin and Sebastian answers for Anne. Your aunt pursued this alone. We could do it together.
Very well. I hope we don't regret this.
Sebastian! Over here!
These braves bring your answers to the scriptorium.
Now you'll share? You wouldn't tell me when I practically begged.
It wasn't you who told me what I needed to hear. Oh,
Revelio!
Entrance through the threes.
Well, 3 heads are better than 1.
It's 2 heads are better than 1.
And by that logic, 3 is better than 2. Simple.
Revelio! Aloha, Mora.
Confringo! Revelio.
Remember, 3 braziers are involved.
Someone was actually listening.
I do that. Occasionally.
Accio! Confringo! Revelio! Descendo! Incendio! Confringo!
Something's happening.
I hope we're ready for this.
Revelio!
Dark, ominous corridors.
Lumos!
My favorite.
No comment.
Come on, that was a good...
Revelio! Reparo!
The rubble formed a relief of a person facing a snake.
That must be the voice I hear.
You hear a voice?
It started when you repaired that relief. I hear... I'm a parcel mouth. I can hear and speak to snakes.
I'd like to be able to talk to snakes.
You might not want the ability to speak past... I haven't spoken it in ages, but I'm hoping you're having sex.
Believe me, I am having...
It's ironic. When I left her... I can't believe I'm doing this.
It worked! Ominous. You possess a rare ability indeed.
Between the 2 of you, I'm starting to feel left out.
Between the 2 of us?
Revelio!
Never mind. There's no clear way forward.
Lumos!
Like a maze. Salazar Slytherin most likely wanted this to be difficult to solve.
The door we came from, it closed.
Revelio!
And there's more than one gate.
Arresto Momentum!
Then look closely at each gate
Lumos.
for clues.
The dial requires focus.
Aunt Noctua said the same. It may take practice to solve it. That didn't sound good.
Salazar Slytherin didn't make this easy. This is looking rather dire, isn't it?
You sound surprised.
Lumos!
We're in a maze designed by Salazar Slytherin.
Revelio! Confringo! Incendio! Lumos! Revelio!
This journal entry, it mentions getting lost and being unwelcome.
Poor Aunt Noctua.
Accio! Confringo! Lumos!
Another gate.
Seems Slytherin like to play games.
Must run in the family.
Look in a mirror, Sebastian.
All the gates have symbols, and there are symbols on the dial.
Matching the symbols did open it.
Lumos.
Was about to do that myself, but you got to it first. Nice work. Let's look at the gate and the symbols again.
That's
Lumos.
promising.
Another dial solved.
Impressive. Nice work.
Revelio. Lumos. Revelio. Lumos.
We've got more to solve ahead.
Search each corridor. It may not be obvious which leads where.
Noctua references painful and arduous challenges, but also rewards.
Painful. That's the part I'm wary of.
All I heard was rewards. Keep going.
Revelio. Lumos. Confringo.
Ominous. Your aunt wanted to change your family's traditions.
She did, and she was my favorite person in the world for it.
Excellent work. We're another step closer to the scriptorium.
Lumos.
I spotted something ahead. Looks troubling.
This whole place is troubling, but for my aunt's
Revelio.
sake, we cannot stop now.
The gate!
Lumos.
I think we're locked in. Again!
Then Salazar Slytherin is not yet finished with us.
Ominous. A skeleton. And Noctua's last journal entry. She mentions being trapped here, blocked by an unforgivable curse.
This is where she died. This is where we'll die. I shouldn't have listened to either of you.
Ominous, I'm truly sorry about your aunt. But I know what to do. It's going to be difficult.
You said you know what to do.
Tortured faces on the door, and Crucios etched into the stone. My guess is if we cast the Cruciatus curse, the door will open. That's why Noctua died. She had no one to cast the curse on. Ominous has the most experience with this. He should cast it. You seem to be in Ominous's favor. Will you ask him about this?
He does seem a bit cross with you.
Good. Work. Wish we had some liquid luck.
All of this could have been avoided.
Ominous. I hadn't imagined we'd end up trapped like this.
Salazar Slytherin did. I overheard you and Sebastian, and I won't do it.
Sebastian told me a little of what happened when you were young.
Should have known he would have told you. I'm as guilty as the worst. Unforgivable curses won't work unless you really mean them. I had to want to cause pain, and for that I shall never. That spells the reason I have no family left. If you cast Crucio, you will regret it forever.
What do we do now? Ominous is not going to cast the Cruciatus Curse again.
Ridiculous! As if dying in here is a better option than casting it. It's up to us.
Wait, you didn't say you knew how to...
Because I'm not sure I do. Ominous knows that, yet he's left us no choice. I think I can cast it if I have to.
I want to learn the curse, but I won't cast it on you.
I shan't forget this.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Are you all right?
That pain, it was excruciating. But I'll survive. Let's keep moving.
We made it. We found Salazar Slytherin's scriptorium.
I can't believe we're here.
Revelio. Sebastian, Ominous. There's a book, just here.
You found something.
You two go ahead. Let me know what's in it. I'll wander around with it.
What do you think?
Looks like a spellbook of some kind. This is incredible. Still can't believe Ominous never told me about.
What will you do with Slytherin's spell?
What I do with every book. Read it. Having professors is... But I can do that later. For now. It's breathtaking. I don't want to leave, but I owe you. Both of you. Without both of you, we'd never have made it this far.
We were lucky. We could have died. We must swear never to do this again.
I see a way out.
Best news I've heard all day.
Ominous. About your aunt.
Please, Sebastian. I meant what I said before. We swear, right now, never to engage in anything to do with dark magic again.
Understood. I'm truly sorry about your aunt, Ominous.
I suppose after all this, I am grateful to know what happened to her. Thank you.
I can't wait until I'm a 6th year. Then I won't have to waste my time with herbology anymore. I'll miss Professor Garlic, mind.
My older brother used to terrorize me with a fanged geranium.
Where did you get your dragonhide gloves? I saw you handling that Snargaluff in herbology. You know, my gloves went mysteriously missing.
It's not the written exam that worries me with herbology, it's the practical.
I'll trade you a spoon's worth of flubberworm mucus for a puffapod.
As a Muggleborn, I never expected to come face to face with a man eating cabbage. The most I've ever been able to conjure was a single quill. Not sure I'll ever master that one.
I was worried transfiguration would be too difficult, but it turns out I have a knack for switching spells. Mother says it's my indecisive nature.
Everyone knows you can't conjure food. Haven't you heard of Gamp's Law?
I asked him to Takata tutor me in transfiguration, but he refused. I'm a lost cause.
Do you think it's painful to be in a half-transfigured state?
I spent hours trying to conjure a meat pie when I was at first year, only to then find out about Gamp's Law. Such a disappointment.
How rare a metamorphmagai anyway?
I still can't manage to transfigure a match into a needle without catching it on fire. While I remember, don't forget to give me that book on ancient runes. Or in case I don't see you...
It's no wonder Ravenclaws are so clever though, isn't it? Having to solve things every time you want to go into the common room. Bit much, I'd say.
I try to imagine the great witches and wizards of the past who once sat in the same chairs as we now get to sit in the common room. Most inspiring.
My parents visited the school once. All I can say is thank Merlin it's against school policy to let them in the common room.
Nothing worse than students practicing jinxes on each other in the common room. Can't take a step for fear of having your legs turn to jelly.
I'm avoiding our common room today. Ronan's testing on Accio, and students are summoning objects right and left. Nearly lost an eye to a rogue quill.
My older sister came here. Said she carved her initials into the fireplace of our common room. But I think she made it up.
Owls must be incredibly intelligent to deliver all those letters. I still get lost looking for our common room.
I sent a love letter to Imelda Reyes once, but I think she thought I was making fun of her because she's been rude to me ever since. When I said she was outspoken, I meant it as a compliment.
How many letters do you think come in and out of Hogwarts every day?
I almost bought an owl in Diagon Alley. Went with a cat instead. Odd-coloured eye, and it quite appealed to me.
It's been ages since I've sent an owl back home. My father will be worrying. Perhaps next week.
Every time I'm there, everyone falls asleep. I don't think that's what a common room is for.
Slytherins almost always use the door to the right of the entrance hall.
I tried to hide a puffskein once, in the corner of the common room.
Oh, someone prodded a Mimbless Mimbletonia in the common room. Stink sap everywhere. I'm avoiding it entirely until they or the house elves clean it up.
While I remember, don't forget to give me that book on ancient runes. Or in case I don't see you...
It's no wonder Ravenclaws are so clever though, isn't it? Having to solve things every time you want to go into the common room. Bit much, I'd say.
I try to imagine the great witches and wizards of the past who once sat in the same chairs as we now get to sit in the common room. Most inspiring.
My parents visited the school once. All I can say is thank Merlin it's against school policy to let them in the common room.
My uncle knows Kagawa, so I can't imagine I won't get good marks. And my aunt knows Black's wife, so all in all I'd say I'm well set.
Showing off is a muggle trait. You don't see that sort of behavior in the wizarding world.
Last week, I performed a knee reversal hex on a second year. It was an utter triumph.
Nobody can do a hex like me. And I dare you to prove me wrong. You saw that first year with the engorged head. That was me.
Do you ever wish you could ride a hippogriff? I've ridden one, of course. Several, in fact. I just wondered if you knew what it was like.
My family has a lineage of exemplary flyers. It's no wonder Splintwitches is desperate for me to buy a broom there. I tried to brew some Amortentia once. It was an awful disaster. I thought he'd take an interest in me.
I was always in trouble, I was. Always something broken in the garden. Ornaments, torn up lawn.
Do you think it's possible to spend time with any of the merpeople from the lake?
We had a ghoul in our attic. It groaned all the time. Quite the nuisance. Still, we never had spiders.
Tried what I thought was a smoothing elixir for my hair. Oh, I think I was tricked. Smells like flobberworm mucus. Oh!
Honestly, the way some of those Slytherins fawn all over Professor Black, it's embarrassing. Even he seems irritated by it. Then again, what isn't he irritated by?
My aunt made some Amortentia once, because she wasn't getting along well with my uncle.
I fell asleep in Transfiguration once. Professor Weasley woke me up and I had drool all over my wand. Couldn't transfigure my way out of that.
My father writes to me every week asking about classes, and wondering if I've made any new friends. I dread mail. Every time our owl appears in the Great Hall, I simply cringe. We'd have more fun in our dormitory if the prefects would conveniently go on holiday.
I tried doing homework in the dormitory last night, but ended up falling asleep. Those beds are simply too comfortable.
We stayed up almost the entire night the other week talking about schoolwork.
We have the most annoying of all the prefects, I swear.
Does doesn't seem right to me. Always encouraging me to keep plenty of Wiggenweld potion in my trunk.
I wish they'd allow us our pets from home. We have a crop called Mange.
Slytherins almost always use the door to the right of the entrance hall.
Nothing worse than students practicing jinxes on each other in the common room. Can't take a step for fear of having your legs turned to jelly.
Oh, someone prodded a Mimbus Mimbletonia in the common room. Stink sap everywhere. I'm avoiding it entirely until they or the house elves clean it up.
Every time I'm there, everyone falls asleep. I don't think that's what a common room is for.
I'm avoiding our common room today. Ronan's testing on Accio, and students are summoning objects right and left. Nearly lost an eye to a rogue quill.
My older sister came to. Said she carved her initials into the fireplace of our common room. But I think she made it up.
It's no wonder Ravenclaws are so clever, isn't it? Having to solve things every time you want to go into the common room. Bit much, I'd say.
I tried to hide a puffskein once, in the corner of the common room.
Oh, I don't like how flying messes up my hair.
I was destined to be a glorious beater if Quidditch hadn't been cancelled this year. I was.
Broomsticks are so out of date. I'd rather travel by Flu Network any day.
Spintwitches is my favourite. At least I get to see all the brooms, even if I can't afford one myself.
Do we really need to practice flying on a broomstick? I thought that was the purpose of trains.
My older sisters taught me everything I needed to know about Hogwarts before I stepped foot in the castle, including how to sneak food from in the kitchens.
Oh, my mother makes the most delicious Alahotzi fudge every Christmas. I can barely fit into my school robes when it's time to come back.
Hogwarts has brought me and my siblings closer together. We've had to rely on each other without having our parents about.
My entire family's been sorted into Hufflepuff. Except for me, that is. Makes sense. Not one for hard work, if I'm honest.
My siblings and I have all been sorted into different houses. Came as no surprise to my father.
My brother just started at Hogwarts as a Gryffindor. Thought for certain he'd be Slytherin, cunning as he is.
I'd like to send owls, but I have no one to write to.
Owls must be incredibly intelligent to deliver all those letters. I still get lost looking for our common room.
No one sends me owls. Can't remember the last time I got one. Not even on my birthday.
I never know what to say when I write to my mother. Hello, Mother. Classes are horrendously boring, and Professor Binns is still as dull as when you were in school.
I sent a love letter to Imelda Reyes once, but I think she thought I was making fun of her because she's been rude to me ever since. When I said she was outspoken, I meant it as a compliment.
How many letters do you think come in and out of Hogwarts every day?
I almost bought an owl in Diagon Alley. Went with a cat instead. Odd-coloured eye, and it quite appealed to me.
It's been ages since I've sent an owl back home. My father will be worrying. Perhaps next week.
I don't know what Madame Kugawa sees in Imelda Reyes. She's not that good at flying.
I'm far too afraid of heights to fly on a broom. What? It's nothing to be ashamed of. I don't see you racing about the towers.
Wish I could afford my own broom from Spintwitches.
Oh, I don't like how flying messes up my hair.
I'd make a fine keeper, with a bit more practice. I was destined to be a glorious beater if Quidditch hadn't been cancelled this year. I was.
Imelda Reyes is always arranging broom trials. She's only trying to top her old records. Such a show-off.
Spintwitches is my favourite. At least I get to see all the brooms, even if I can't afford one myself.
Broomsticks are so out of date. I'd rather travel by Flu Network any day. Do we really need to practice flying on a broomstick? I thought that was the purpose of trains.
die of embarrassment if my mother taught at Hogwarts. Don't know how Natty manages.
And have you seen how these professors look at your clothes? Black looks at me like I'm a pauper. I swear the man thinks I have fleas.
I wish they'd let Ronan teach the entire curriculum. Charms is the only class I can stay awake for.
Professor Hecat is intimidating, but then she has a serious subject to teach. Can't afford to coddle students when it comes to defense against the dark arts.
Sometimes I'm not fully sure if Ronan's teaching us a spell or having a practice himself. Don't you find? It's genuinely questionable as to whether the man's at Hogwarts to steer the next generation or to become the next Uric the Oddball.
Oh, did you hear about the new spell we're learning in Charms? I can't wait. You know it's gonna be a laugh with Ronan. Never seen Devil Snare in the wild. It would be terrifying to encounter, I think. I'm happy to read about it, mind.
I wouldn't bother yourself about that. If I were you, I'd be more inclined to acquire myself some Bubba-Chuba Puffs. I'm sure Garlic could point you in the right direction. Soon get that complexion in better fettle.
How are there so many lectures in herbology?
I can't wait until I'm a 6th year. Then I won't have to waste my time with herbology anymore. I'll miss Professor Garlic, mind.
My older brother used to terrorize me with a fanged geranium. Showing off is a muggle trait. You don't see that sort of behavior in the wizard world.
My uncle knows Kagawa, so I can't imagine I won't get good marks. And my aunt knows Black's wife, so all in all I'd say I'm well set.
Nobody can do a hex like you, and I dare you to prove me wrong. You saw that first year with the engorged head. That was me.
Last week, I performed a knee reversal hex on a 2nd year. It was an utter triumph.
My family has a lineage of exemplary flies. It's no wonder Sleep Witches is desperate for me to buy a broom there.
Do you ever wish you could ride a hippogriff? I've ridden one, of course. Several, in fact. I just wondered if you knew what it was like. Got a peek at the prefect's bathroom last year. I'd missed class for a week to soak in that tub.
I enjoy having lunch down by the lake. Except when the giant squid splashes about. Not much for soggy sandwiches.
Pete was in a mood the other day. Tossed my quill right on Scribner's desk. Now I have detention for a week.
Do you think anyone has found every secret passage in Hogwarts? Wouldn't surprise me if new ones popped up occasionally.
Just when I think I've learned how to get around the castle, a staircase moves and I'm lost again.
And have you seen how these professors look at your clothes? Black looks at me like I'm a pauper. I swear the man thinks I have fleas.
I'd die of embarrassment if my mother taught at Hogwarts. Don't know how Natty manages.
At first, I thought Professor Garlic might be too young to be a professor, but she's more than capable. Knows her gillyweed from her gurdyweed, that one.
Rumor is, Professor Hecat used to work for the Ministry. Or wonder what she did.
Professor Hecat is intimidating, but then she has a serious subject to teach. Can't afford to coddle students when it comes to defense against the dark arts.
I'd like to send owls, but I have no one to write to.
Owls must be incredibly intelligent to deliver all those letters. I still get lost looking for our common room.
No one sends me owls. Can't remember the last time I got one. Not even on my birthday.
I never know what to say when I write to my mother. Hello, Mother. Classes are horrendously boring, and Professor Binns is still as dull as when you were in school.
I sent a love letter to Imelda Reyes once, but I think she thought I was making fun of her because she's been rude to me ever since. When I said she was outspoken, I meant it as a compliment.
How many letters do you think come in and out of Hogwarts every day?
I almost bought an owl in Diagon Alley. Went with a cat instead. Odd-coloured eye, and it quite appealed to me.
It's been ages since I've sent an owl back home. My father will be worrying. Perhaps next week. Hogsmeade's no London, mind you, but it'll do in a pinch.
If it's seeds I'm after, I'll always go to the Magic Neep. I've upset Madam Green one too many times now. She won't soon be welcoming me back to Dogweed and Deathcap.
All of the shopkeepers like me. I know they do. They always put a bit of something extra in the bag for me. I think they're drawn to my charm. Also, my parents spend a lot in Hogsmeade, but I don't think that's it.
I'd spend the entire day in Hogsmeade if I could.
You can get all sorts of clothing at Gladrags. Not just common wear either. I've seen rare garments there. Very powerful, I'd imagine. I can't say I feel the need for that sort of thing, mind. I'd be quite content with a new pair of socks. I'm far too afraid of heights to fly on a broom. What? It's nothing to be ashamed of. I don't see you racing about the towers.
I don't know what Madame Hugala sees in Imelda Reyes. She's not that good at flying.
Imelda Reyes is always arranging broom trials. She's only trying to top her old records. Such a shame.
Wish I could afford my own broom from Spint Witches.
Oh, I don't like how flying messes up my hair.
Got a peek at the prefect's bathroom last year. I'd missed class for a week to soak in that tub.
Oh, I've been turned around on the grand staircase one too many times. I simply avoid it now.
Pete was in a mood the other day. Tossed my quill right on Scribner's desk. Now I have detention for a week.
I enjoy having lunch down by the lake. Except when the giant squid splashes about. Not much for soggy sandwiches.
Just when I think I've learned how to get around the castle, a staircase moves and I'm lost again.
Do you think anyone has found every secret passage in Hogwarts? Wouldn't surprise me if new ones popped up occasionally. I never know what to say when I write to my mother. Hello, Mother. Classes are horrendously boring, and Professor Binns is still as dull as when you were in school.
No one sends me owls. Can't remember the last time I got one. Not even on my birthday.
Owls must be incredibly intelligent to deliver all those letters. I still get lost looking for our common room.
I'd like to send owls, but I have no one to write to.
How many letters do you think come in and out of Hogwarts every day?
I sent a love letter to Imelda Reyes once, but I think she thought I was making fun of her because she's been rude to me ever since. When I said she was outspoken, I meant it as a compliment.
It's been ages since I've sent an owl back home. My father will be worrying. Perhaps next week.
I almost bought an owl in Diagon Alley. Went with a cat instead. Odd-coloured eye, and it quite appealed to me. I've been meaning to ask you. You wouldn't have an extra quill I could borrow, would you?
Do you think it's possible to spend time with any of the merpeople from the lake?
I was always in trouble, I was. Always something broken in the garden. Ornaments, torn up lawn.
I tried to brew some Amortentia once. It was an awful disaster. I thought he'd take an interest in me.
We had a ghoul in our attic. Groaned all the time. Quite the nuisance. Still, we never had spiders.
Tried what I thought was a smoothing elixir for my hair. Oh, I think I was tricked. Smells like flobberworm mucus. Oh! It's not the written exam that worries me with herbology, it's the practical.
My interest in herbology stems solely from my desire to excel in potions. If you can't brew with it, don't grow it, I say.
As a mother-born, I never expected to come face to face with a man eating cabbage.
I'll trade you a spoon's worth of flobberworm mucus for a pufferpod.
Never seen devil snare in the wild. Would be terrifying to encounter, I think. I'm happy to read about it, mind.
Where did you get your dragonhide gloves? I saw you handling that Snargaloff in herbology. You know my gloves went mysteriously missing.
How are there so many lectures in herbology?
Isn't Sebastian Sallow's family from Feldcroft? I would have expected him to be from somewhere more posh.
Sometimes I wish I needed a new wand, just so I'd have an excuse to visit Ollivanders again. I could open wand boxes all day.
Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village I've ever heard of.
I'd like to do some window shopping in Hogsmeade this weekend. Don't have the galleons to actually buy anything.
So many interesting people from all over the world come through Hogsmeade. You never know who you'll meet. Spotted a vampire from Romania last spring. I wish they'd let Ronan teach the entire curriculum. Charms is the only class I can stay awake for.
And have you seen how these professors look at your clothes? Black looks at me like I'm a pauper. I swear the man thinks I have fleas.
Sometimes I'm not fully sure if Ronan's teaching us a spell or having a practice himself. Don't you find? It's genuinely questionable as to whether the man's at Hogwarts to steer the next generation or to become the next Uric the Oddball.
Oh, did you hear about the new spell we're learning in Charms? I can't wait. You know it's gonna be a laugh with Ronan.
I'd die of embarrassment if my mother taught at Hogwarts. Don't know how Natty manages.
At first, I thought Professor Garlick might be too young to be a professor, but she's more than capable. Knows her gillyweed from her gurdyweed, that one. Oh, my mother makes the most delicious Alahatzi fudge every Christmas. Can barely fit into my school robes when it's time to come back.
My older sisters taught me everything I needed to know about Hogwarts before I stepped foot in the castle, including how to sneak food from in the kitchens.
My entire family's been sorted into Hufflepuff, except for me, that is. Makes sense. Not one for hard work, if I'm honest.
Hogwarts has brought me and my siblings closer together. We've had to rely on each other without having our parents about.
My brother just started at Hogwarts as a Gryffindor. Thought for certain he'd be Slytherin, cunning as he is.
I can't wait until I'm a 6th year. Then I won't have to waste my time with herbology anymore. I'll miss Professor Garlick, mind.
It's not the written exam that worries me with herbology, it's the practical.
My interest in herbology stems solely from my desire to excel in potions. If you can't brew with it, don't grow it, I say.
As a Muggleborn, I never expected to come face to face with a man eating cabbage.
I wouldn't bother yourself about that. If I were you, I'd be more inclined to acquire myself some Bubba pus. I'm sure Garlick could point you in the right direction. Soon get that complexion and better fettle.
My older brother used to terrorize me with a fanged geranium.
I'll trade you a spoon's worth of flubberworm mucus for a pufferpod.
Never seen devil snare in the wild. Would be terrifying to encounter, I'd think. I'm happy to read about it, mind. Hogsmeade's no London, mind you, but it'll do in a pinch.
If it's seeds I'm after, I'll always go to the Magic Neep. I've upset Madam Green one too many times now. She won't soon be welcoming me back to Dogweed and Deathcap.
All of the shopkeepers like me. I know they do. They always put a bit of something extra in the bag for me. I think they're drawn to my charm. Also, my parents spend a lot in Hogsmeade, but I don't think that's it.
I'd spend the entire day in Hogsmeade if I could.
You can get all sorts of clothing at Gladrags. Not just common wear either. I've seen rare garments there. Very powerful, I'd imagine. I can't say I feel the need for that sort of thing, mind. I'd be quite content with a new pair of socks. Showing off is a Muggle trait. You don't see that sort of behavior in the wizarding world.
My uncle knows Kagawa, so I can't imagine I won't get good marks. And my aunt knows Black's wife, so all in all, I'd say I'm well set.
Nobody can do a hex like me, and I dare you to prove me wrong. You saw that first year with the engorged head. That was me.
Last week, I performed a knee reversal hex on a 2nd year. It was an utter triumph.
My family has a lineage of exemplary flyers. It's no wonder Splintwitches is desperate for me to buy a broom there.
haven't slept well for ages. I miss my pillow from home. What? Nothing wrong with that.
I brought sweets from Honeydukes to share with the girls in my dormitory tonight. No acid pops, though. Not before bed.
I tried doing homework in the dormitory last night, but ended up falling asleep. Those beds are simply too comfortable.
There's always someone snoring in our dormitory. One of the girls, too. And she talks in her sleep.
Not the best idea to start a study group with the boys from my dormitory. Now, we never get a break from each other.
Slytherins are lucky they get to sleep next to the lake. Water is so soothing.
We have the most annoying of all the prefects, I swear.
We'd have more fun in our dormitory if the prefects would conveniently go on holiday.
Revelio.
Would like to talk with you when you have a moment.
Hello, Deke. Professor Weasley said you wanted to tell me more about the loom.
Ah, hello. Yes, about that. Deke has had a thought. He... Seems the room. As Deke was saying, he's had a thought. Now, Deke knows how you can test the item of clothing, and perhaps...
What do you mean?
A house elf named Tobbs works for his master, retrieving leech juice in a cave. Tobbs' master doesn't let him leave the cave, and Deke...
That sounds awful.
It is. Deke hasn't... As the item you wove in the loom has an enchantment that might be useful, Deke thought...
I understand. Leave it.
Oh, thank you.
What did you need me to do?
Deke's friend, Tobbs, collects leech juice from a spider-infested... As the item you wove in the loom has an enchantment that might be useful...
Likely this astronomy table will be best used when it's dark. Knowing Amit, he's likely studied here.
Pathetic. My bite is worse than mud ball.
This must be Tobbs's cave. I suppose I should head inside. Incendio! Incendio! Accio! Confringo! Confringo! Accio! Confringo!
You missed.
Lumos. Confringo. Incendio. Tobbs's master is awful. Tobbs? Tobbs? Deke sent me. Are you in here? Accio. Incendio. Defender. Confringo. Confringo. Defender. Incendio. Accio. Confringo. Incendio. Defender. It looks as if Tobbs was here some time ago. He must have headed deeper into the cave. Confringo! Accio! Accio! Incendio!
Confringo! Accio! Depulso! Accio! Incendio! Confringo! Defendo! Incendio! Incendio! Confringo! Defendo! Accio! Incendio! Confringo! Defendo! Confringo! Incendio! Accio! Incendio! Incendio! Defendo! Confringo! Accio! Incendio!
Ugh. Shame you're so foul.
Confringo!
Oh no. I have a feeling that house elf is Tobbs. Poor Tobbs. Left here alone with the spiders.
Confringo! Protego!
Revelio.
Accio!
That table looks familiar. Seems I'm back at the entrance to the cave. I'm back from the cave, Deke.
Wonderful. Deke?
I'm sorry to tell you this, Deke.
Oh, my. Deke was Deke and Tobbs once shared the same master. Deke always wished Tobbs had been sent to Hogwarts too. Oh, Deke will miss his friend dearly, and will...
I'm truly sorry about your friend.
Thank you. Deke could use some time...
You would be wise not to underestimate this student. Their aptitude for magic is beyond anything I've ever seen, and I've been teaching a long time.
It is a joy to have such a student.
It can be. There you are.
I received your owl. I was able to speak with Lodgok, the goblin I mentioned before.
What did you learn?
He and Ranrock were close once, but they had a falling out.
You believe he can be trusted?
He seemed trustworthy. Difficult to know, really. But Sirona Ryan trusts him.
Well, that's something, I suppose. Supposing he can be trusted, will he help us get to Ranrock?
I retrieved a stolen helm. He hopes to return to Ranrock in order to regain his confidence.
You have been busy. Let's hope your efforts result in our learning something about Ranrock's plans.
Lodgok did mention that Ranrock is searching for something, but he couldn't say what. Perhaps that helm will yield some answers.
Ranrock is searching for something. I feared as much. I've heard an unusual amount of activity, goblins and wizards, I surmise, when visiting my portrait at my castle.
Rookwood Castle?
My former residence, yes. That castle is also the location of your next trial.
You didn't see any...
I did not. In fact, I did not make myself known. I only recently returned there. I stayed out of sight, so as not...
I'm sorry to tell you that Victor Rookwood, evidently your descendant, is a dark wizard in league with Ranrock.
My descendant? A dark wizard? I'm afraid we've no time to waste. Despite the obstacles that clearly await you, you must get to Rookwood Castle immediately. Not only is it the location of the next trial, it is home to a source of power that would be devastating in the wrong hands. I do wish we had the luxury of time. However, I do not doubt your abilities. Find my portrait there as soon as you can.
Very well, sir. I'm on my way.
Best of luck.
No time to waste. I'll meet you at Rook...
We've got dark wizards these days that make Emmerich the Evil look like Yorick.
What do we have here? A demiguise. Hello, nice.
Welcome.
What do you have for sale?
A pleasure doing business with you. Have I mentioned you're welcome to stop by at any time?
Over here!
What's going on here?
Professor Rookwood was right. They're working together, or I'm sure you'll agree that we need to find...
I've robbed every traveling vendor that's passed through here.
What's this? A child wandered too far from...
Incendio!
absurd, isn't it? Ranrock wants us to find the child, but which child?
We could take every child we find to Ranrock. Eventually, pick the right one.
Sounds like a lot of work. Perhaps we just tell him we learn. Well, if he helps. You can't stop Ranrock's rebellion!
Seems quiet. Too quiet, if you ask me.
Up there. That's our way in.
Accio! Wingardium Leviosa! Arresto Momentum!
If I'd known your plan was to dig up half the country...
I wouldn't have to dig if you could simply manage to bring me the child.
We wouldn't need the child if you hadn't sent a dragon to retrieve the container I spent months and countless ministry favors tracking.
You let them board the carriage. My options were limited once I knew it would be inconveniently beyond my reach at that infernal school.
Have you not acquired enough power here? I allowed you to tunnel under my family home.
Allowed me? You are here only because you are descended from a keeper and may at some point inadvertently become valuable. We had an agreement. I will share with you the power that I discovered if you locate the stores of magic that are yet to be found. So, unless you want another demonstration of my power, a power that you one day hope to wield, bring me the child.
We already knew they were after you, but now we know they're digging for stores of magic.
And Ranrock knows about the Keepers.
Yes, I caught that too. Professor Rookwood said that you'd understand more once you complete the next trial.
Let's get into that castle.
Any special words you want me to pass on to your mum?
Excellent!
Arresto Momentum!
Try to make this too How embarrassing! No, go, Accio! You will pay for your deeds. I've had enough of this.
Accio!
Stop that right! You just wait till I come down. Impressive.
Accio!
You'll come to regret that.
How nice of you to stop by.
Accio!
You are terribly up there. Surely you can do that.
I will make you pay.
Put me down. Treat me like I'm not
Release me!
Accio! Incendio! Nintendo!
I suppose that's the quick way down.
Revelio. Caborso. Revelio. Revelio. Repulsor. Revelio. Repulsor.
Something to those symbols.
There is. I've seen symbols like these before. I need to find all of them and cast at them quickly in succession. Revelio. Confringo.
Goblin traps.
Revelio.
They're a step ahead of us. Let's see where they lead. This must be it. The store of magic and the source of Ranrock's power.
It looks empty. If they've taken all of it, why are they still here?
Ranrock said there's more to be found, and if he's right about that, it may or may not be located here. Wherever it is, we need to find it before they do. Where is that portrait?
I heard something. I was hoping that was you.
Professor Rookwood, the goblins and dark wizards who've overrun your castle are digging for stores of magic and have broken open some sort of container.
No. Things are more dire than... If, as you told Percival, a goblin in his vault was wielding a powerful magic, then they have somehow learned. It cannot be.
And sir, they know you were a keeper.
This makes no sense. How did... We shall discuss this later.
Just tell me where I need to go.
The power you stand to wield must first be fully understood. The trials will ensure that. Power without knowledge is dangerous indeed. In the wrong hands, we will simply have to outwit Ranrock and my unfortunate namesake.
Very well, Professor. Tell me where I need to go.
I shall reveal the path. Professor Fig must leave you now.
Revelio.
I would join you if I could. I shall await your arrival.
Revelio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Confringo. Protego. Revelio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. I need to reposition that field. Perhaps the archway is the answer. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Revelio. That pillar is blocking the path. I'll need to move it. Accio. Repulsor. Glacius. Confringo. Accio. Confringo. Incendio. Is there any way to reposition this archway? Accio! Descendo! Repulsor! Arresto Momentum! Accio! Repulsor! Arresto Momentum! Descendo! Expelliarmus! Arresto Momentum! Repulsor! Expelliarmus! Confringo! Accio! Incendio! Revelio! Accio! Repulso! Wingardium Leviosa! Accio! Revelio. Wingardium Leviosa. Repulsor. Confringo. Incendio. Confringo. Accio. Incendio. Revelio. Accio. Confringo. Incendio. Defendo. Confringo. Wingardium Leviosa. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Incendio. Defendo. Accio. Incendio. Accio. Incendio. Defendo. Confringo. I believe I need to proceed to the left here, but how? Revelio. Perhaps I'm to hit the mark on the far wall. That sort of thing has repositioned the archways in the past. Revelio. Revelio. Accio. There's a pillar here, but no ledge near it for me to grab onto. Incendio. Confringo. Incendio. Incendio! Revelio. Accio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Accio. Incendio. Confringo. Defender. Expelliarmus. Repulsor. Glacius. Confringo. Defender. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
Hitting those marks readjusts the archways. Perhaps there's a way forward from the other side of this one.
Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
Is it possible to pull one of those blocks through the archway?
Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
After pulling the block out through the archway, I can place it where it can be climbed on while on the other side of the archway.
Confringo. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Confringo.
Revelio. Incendio! Defender! Confringo! Accio! Incendio! Revelio. Incendio! Accio! Confringo! Incendio!
Accio.
Expelliarmus!
Confringo!
Defender! Accio!
Confringo!
Defender!
Expelliarmus!
Arrest all the Expelliarmus!
Confringo!
Incendio!
What a relief.
Revelio.
I must say I'm curious to hear of Isidore's travels.
Isadora. What have you done?
I took his pain.
This is uncharted magic, Isadora. You can only see what has been sealed in the jar, and we do not know what power that may hold. But the traces of that magic are different from what I've seen before.
Thank you.
You're back.
And in one piece, no less. It is good to see you again.
Professor Rookwood told me about what happened at Rookwood Castle.
In light of the dire circumstances in which we find ourselves, it is most fortunate that someone so competent is following this path.
Thank you, Professor. I shall keep the second artifact safe as you've advised.
Good. Are you ready to move on?
What was the glowing strand that Isadora pulled from her father's chest?
It was pain. You will understand more about her actions as you complete the trials.
I'm ready for whatever comes next.
In that case, introductions are in order.
Allow me to introduce former Hogwarts headmistress, Neve Fitzgerald.
How do you do? I must say that I was not entirely surprised to learn that a student had been completing the trials. I've always believed Hogwarts students capable of anything they set their minds to.
Thank you, Professor. It's a pleasure to meet you as well.
I am certain that you are more than capable. However, I must first, how shall I say,
We trust your judgment, Professor Fitzgerald.
a vainglorious and I shall confirm that everything is in order immediately.
Of course. Professor Fitzgerald needs some time to clear the way. If you learn more about Ranrock and Victor...
Very well, Professor. I know.
You do learn. Hopefully you will soon hear from Lodgok as well. Well done today, as all.